Good morning YouTubers, another update video from me on this fine Friday morning. As you can see, I have a brand new aquarium, the Red Sea Reefer 170. It was a bit of a last minute decision to change tanks. For those who have seen my previous videos, I've been running a dual Lido 120 that I converted myself roughly about 14 months ago, customised sump etc. I like the tank, but there was just something about it that really bugged me, and I've always liked these Red Sea reefer models. I just think they're very slick looking. The glass is high quality, the overflow system incorporating these tanks run absolutely silent, as opposed to the dual Lido I had with a makeshift overflow box. It was quite noisy, so that was probably one of the main reasons why I changed this tank. Doesn't give me too much water volume. I think I'm getting an extra probably 30 or 40 litres. But I'm just going to run you through this tank now, my initial thoughts, stocking and future plans for this tank. So yeah, Red Sea Reefer 170 using the max spec Glaive LED. It's an entry level LED. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's got 4 multi-channels with a royal actinic blue, a royal blue, a cyan, which I think is a green light, and obviously a warm white 3000 Kelvin LED. You can change the spectrum and the intensities of the light. I have it leaning towards the more of the blue side of things. I just personal preference really. I like the blue in the tank rather than the white. But yeah, a decent LED, you can pick it up for about 180 quid. I know you've got some LEDs out there, 400 or 500 quid, some of the Radions, etc. But yeah, just probably a bit out of my price range. So yeah, the Red Sea Reefer 170, got it last Wednesday. Took me all day to set up really. Moved everything over from the old tank into this one. That all went well. I'll just show you what I've got now. Yeah, so the 2 clownfish, the leopard wrasse, well the peacock wrasse. There's a royal grammar in there, and there is also a blue spot cheek goby in there somewhere. Coral wise, various mushrooms, polyps, a couple of LPS corals in there. Yeah, that's it, and a couple of shrimps, various snails. They all transferred over quite well. No major issues at all. And yeah, all looking good. I'll just show you the sump for those who have not seen them on this system before. Quite simple really, very easy to all put together. 2 down pipes. I bring the water into the sump. One's an emergency, one's got a flow regulator on there. That's probably the only, if I had a criticism of this tank, it's that really. It's quite hard to tweak and get right, otherwise you get quite a bit of noise unless you've got that really dialed in. Water into a sock, which I've obviously decided to use. Some people don't use them. I've decided to use it in this case, which I'll just change out every few days. Bubble Magus C3.5. Probably could have went with one more to the Curve 5, but the 3.5 is rated up to 300 litres, so I'm quite happy that will be sufficient to do the job. Hasn't really started producing any skim yet, because I've changed a lot of the water of this tank, so I don't know whether there isn't much proteins etc in there to actually take out at the moment, but it's bubbling up nicely, but yet to see any skim. At the back, I'm not sure if you can see, running 2 bags, 1 carbon, 1 GFO. I've decided not to go with a reactor just because the sumps on these aren't the biggest. I do have a Bubble Magus Mini 70 on standby should I see any water quality issues, but at the moment I'm going to run them in the 2 bags just to see how I get on, and then obviously using the stock ATO system that comes with the tank. It's a bit of a weird thing to get me head around, because I was running a one that was obviously pump driven in my last tank, but this one seems to be all to do gravity fed, and it kind of drips in very slowly rather than, you know, a big gush, which I got in my my last one. So I'll keep an eye on that. I'm not really too convinced at it at the moment, but it seems to be keeping the levels in check, but we'll see how it goes on. Obviously just a heater, a bit of a wiring job. I probably need to put a shelf in here at some point. But yeah, future plans for the tank. I am thinking of going down the Triton method road. I think thinking about putting a small refugium in this sump. How I'm going to do that yet, I'm not too sure. obviously fill it with loads of Kato and other various microalgae. I'm looking at getting a doser and putting it up here somewhere on the shelf and dosing the Triton elements. They say that reduces the need for water changes. I would probably still do one, maybe every 4 to 8 weeks as opposed to a 10% every 2 weeks is what I do at the moment, and I only manually dose at the moment calcium, alkalinity and magnesium just a couple of times a week. So that's going to be the plan. Stock and wise, I don't think I'm going to add any more fish at the moment. I probably will add a few corals over the next few months, but I don't want to go mad on corals simply because I am manual dosing. I don't want the levels to be fluctuating. My theory is more corals, more elements are going to be used up, but I'm quite happy with it. My main concern is keeping nuisance algae and cyanobacteria away, especially the latter. I battled at the cyno, for those who followed my previous videos, in my dual light over the past 6 months. I tried everything, didn't really seem to just to shift it. I'm hoping with the whole, obviously replace the whole new sand in this tank, and that's because it's a proper marine spec tank. I'm hoping I can keep it at bay. I am using no pox in this system. I've used it on and off for the past year, but I've decided now to stick at it just to see if it does keep the nitrates and the phosphates low. I think it will. I've heard it's a brilliant product. Just got to be careful it doesn't take the nitrates down to 0. I'm using 0.5 mil a day on that, but I will keep you posted. I'm looking to do a video every couple of weeks just to show the progress of this tank. But yeah, for those who want a Red Sea Reefer 170, I think you can pick them up for about 600 quid. Brilliant tank, ideal size for somebody who, you know, perhaps has a budget or doesn't have all the time in the world to go all out. You can definitely get, you know, a good 4 or 5, you know, small fish in here, and obviously a nice selection of corals. But yeah, please subscribe. I'm going to do some updates over the next few weeks, give you more tips and hints and modifications to do to this Red Sea Reefer 170 as we go along. And yeah, keep dialing in, and hopefully I will speak to you all soon. Cheers.